They left me on the happiest day of my life. I never imagined that the happiest day of my life would also become one of the most painful. For years I had dreamed about that day. I had worked hard sacrifice weekends, ignored vacations, and spent countless nights worrying about whether my efforts would ever pay off. Then finally it happened. At 28 years old, I opened my own business. It wasn't a huge company, it wasn't some $1 million startup. It was a small construction consulting firm that I had built from nothing, but it was mine. I still remember standing in the empty office 1 week before the opening ceremony. The walls were freshly painted. The furniture was simple but clean. My name was printed on the glass door. For the first time in my life, I felt proud of myself. And more than anything, I wanted to share that moment with my family. Growing up, my parents always told me that family comes first. They said that no matter how difficult life became, family would stand beside you. I believed them. So when I planned the grand opening, I invited everyone: my parents, my older brother, my younger sister, my uncles and aunts, and of course my girlfriend Nina. Nina and I had been together for almost 3 years. She had supported me through some difficult times, or at least I thought she had. I imagined that day becoming one of my favorite memories. I couldn't have been more wrong. The ceremony was scheduled for Saturday afternoon. I arrived early. The office looked perfect. A few friends helped me arrange chairs and decorations. We ordered food and drinks soft. Music played in the background. Guests slowly started arriving. My college friends came first. Then some former co-workers, a few local business owners stopped by. Everyone congratulated me. Everyone except the people I cared about most. An hour passed. My family hadn't arrived. Neither had Nina. At first I wasn't worried. Traffic happens. People get delayed. I kept checking my phone. Nothing. No messages. No calls. Another 30 minutes passed. Guests began asking where my family was. I laughed awkwardly. They'll be here soon? But deep inside I felt uneasy. I called my mother. No answer. I called my father. No answer. My brother. No answer. Even Nina didn't answer. A strange feeling settled in my chest. Something wasn't right. The event continued, but my attention was elsewhere. Finally my phone rang. It was my sister. Relief washed over me. "Where are you guys?" I asked immediately. There was silence. Then she said something I wasn't prepared to hear. "We aren't coming." I thought I had heard her wrong. "What? We aren't coming?" I laughed nervously. "What do you mean? The event is happening right now." She sighed. "Everyone is at Uncle Ray's house." I felt confused. Why? Another silence. Then she answered, "Because Nina is there." My stomach tightened. What does that mean? My sister hesitated. Then she said the words that changed everything. "She's introducing her fiancé to the family." For a moment I couldn't breathe. The room around me seemed to disappear. I heard voices, music, people talking, but everything sounded distant. "Fiancé," I whispered. "Yes." I thought she was joking. I wanted her to say she was joking. Instead, she continued, "They've been together for several months. Several months. Several months." The words echoed inside my head. I felt sick. "Nina is my girlfriend." "Not anymore." I couldn't speak. My sister sounded guilty. "I'm sorry." Then the call ended. I stood frozen. My hands shook. I immediately called Nina. This time she answered. I didn't even say hello. What is she talking about? Nina was silent. That silence told me everything. "It's true, isn't it?" Another silence. Then she finally spoke. "Armaan." The way she said my name made my heart sink. "I was going to tell you when..." I nearly shouted. "After today?" She didn't answer. I felt anger rising. "Why are you at my uncle's house?" She took a deep breath. "Because your family already knows." Those words hurt more than anything. My family already knew. Everyone knew except me. I suddenly realized why nobody had answered my calls. Why nobody had shown up. Why I was standing alone on the most important day of my life. They had chosen her over me. I ended the call. For several minutes, I couldn't move. I wanted to leave. I wanted to scream. I wanted to disappear. Instead, I walked back into the event. I forced a smile. I shook hands. I thanked guests for coming. Nobody knew what had just happened. Inside, I was completely broken. The ceremony ended around evening. After the last guest left, I sat alone in my office. The silence felt heavy. My phone buzzed repeatedly. Messages from family members. Excuses, explanations, apologies. I ignored them all. Around midnight, my father finally called. I answered. Why was the only word I said. He sighed heavily. It wasn't easy. I laughed bitterly. It seems easy enough none of you came. My father remained quiet. Then he said something I will never forget. We thought it would be better this way. Better? They thought betraying me was better. For who? Certainly not for me. Apparently Nina had met a wealthy businessman 6 months earlier. His family had money, connections, status, everything my family admired. She decided she wanted a different future. And instead of warning me, she quietly started a relationship with him. When my family discovered it, they didn't defend me. They didn't tell me. Instead, they accepted her decision. Some even encouraged it. Because they believed she was making a smart choice. At least that's what they told themselves. The next few weeks were horrible. I stopped answering calls. I avoided family gatherings. I buried myself in work. Every night I replayed everything in my mind. The lies, the secrets, the betrayal. What hurt most wasn't losing Nina. It was losing trust in my family. The people who were supposed to protect me had abandoned me. Not during failure, not during hardship, but during success. That realization changed me. For months I struggled. But something interesting happened. Without the constant need for approval, I became stronger. I focused entirely on my business. New clients arrived. Projects expanded. Revenue increased. Within 2 years, my small office became a respected company. Then a second office opened. Then a third. For the first time, I stopped measuring my worth through other people's opinions. Meanwhile, family members slowly began returning. At first, it was small messages. How have you been? We miss you. Let's meet sometime. I remained polite but distant. The relationship never fully recovered. Trust once broken isn't easily repaired. 3 years after the grand opening, something unexpected happened. I attended a business conference in another city. There I met a woman named Aisha. She was intelligent, confident, and kind. Unlike Naina, she never cared about status. She cared about character. We became friends. Then close friends. Then something more. Before entering a relationship, I told her everything. The betrayal. The family situation. The pain. She listened quietly. When I finished, she smiled gently. You know what's strange? What? You still talk about that day as if it destroyed your life. It did. She shook her head. No. I looked at her. It revealed your life. I didn't understand at first. Then she explained. If they had stayed, you would never have known who they really were. Her words stayed with me because she was right. The grand opening didn't destroy anything. It exposed everything. It revealed who genuinely cared, who was loyal, who wasn't. Sometimes life removes people not to punish us but to protect us. A year later, Aisha and I got married. The wedding was small, simpler, meaningful. Some family members attended, others didn't. I no longer worried about it. My happiness no longer depended on their approval. Several years passed. One evening I received a message from an old mutual friend. He informed me that Naina's engagement had ended long ago. The businessman she chose eventually left her. I felt no satisfaction, no revenge, no joy, only indifference. That chapter of my life had ended. I had moved on. Later that night I sat on the balcony of my home. Aisha sat beside me. Our daughter slept peacefully inside. The city lights stretched across the horizon, and for a moment I thought about that grand opening ceremony, the empty chair reserved for my parents, the unanswered calls, the heartbreak. Back then I believed my world was ending. Now I understood something different. Sometimes the people who leave your life create space for the people who truly belong in it. The happiest day of my life wasn't actually the day I opened my business. I had misunderstood that for years. The happiest day was the day I stopped chasing love from people who refused to give it. Because from that moment onward, I started building a life based on self-respect instead of approval. And that changed everything. The people I lost taught me a painful lesson. The people who stayed taught me a beautiful one. Family isn't always the people who share your blood. Sometimes family is the people who choose you when everyone else walks away. And in the end, those are the people who matter most.